Hi, my name is Rob, and I'm a 59-year-old mountain biker from Colorado. This is my journey to the Leadville 100 mountain bike race on August 9th, 2025. I'll be 60 years old during the race series this year. I hope you follow along during my training and the race to see how this whole thing works out. Hey everybody, so week one. Really this first episode, and I just wanted to kind of give you an introduction to myself and let you know who I am and where I come from and kind of how I got into mountain biking. 59, I'm going to turn 60 in June this year, and this probably will be the last Leadville race that I do, that at least that I'm planning on doing. It takes extraordinary effort, really, to do Leadville and to do well at it, if not just to finish, but to get a good time. So I've raced 3 times in the past. So in 2019 or 2020, I got into the race through the lottery, and it was during COVID. I got picked for the lottery, and then they canceled the race that year. They gave people who were willing to do a deferral or an early deferral out of the race and roll it into 2021. So what I ended up doing is I rolled my application or my Leadville lottery entrance into 2021, and they gave me the option of also booking out the Leadville stage race. So Leadville's got two of the 100-mile mountain bike races. One is the full 100-mile race in one day. It's about 105 miles actually. The other one is they break it down into 3 days, and it's called the Leadville stage race. One of the things that confused me in the beginning was that Stages Cycling actually is a big sponsor of the Leadville race series, and there's a stage race that is sponsored by Stages, and there's the full race that's sponsored by Stages. So they're 2 different races. The 3-day race takes place 2 weeks before the full day race. And it's basically broken down into roughly 42 miles day 1, about 22 miles day 2, and then the balance about 42, 41 miles rolling back into Leadville. You start at the fairgrounds instead of there at 6 in Harrison, where the full day race starts, and a lot of the big events start there. So they started down the fairgrounds, so it's a little shorter overall than the full day race, and it's broken down. It's actually a super fun race. You can really kind of cut loose on that race and use it as a training. It is one of the qualifiers to get a corral qualifying position for the full race, which is one of the reasons that I did it in 2021. So I ended up racing the 3-day stage race the last weekend of July of 2021 and won. I won. I didn't win. I think it was this one. So I was 13, and my time for that race was about 9 hours and 18 minutes, I think, for the 3-day stage race. To get a belt buckle in the 3-day stage race, it's 11 hours and 30 minutes. To get the big belt buckle, it's 8.5 hours. I came in around 9:18. 2 weeks later, I raced the full race and came in at 10 hours and 38 minutes, which I thought was a respectable time. I really didn't follow much of a training program, and it certainly got me across the finish line, well under the 12-hour cutoff time. But it was a bit of a struggle. I think at the end, I was overnourished and probably underhydrated, and I'm going to go into more detail about my nutrition, about how that all worked for me. But I finished in I think 10 hours and 38 minutes for the full race. I didn't race the following year in 2022, but I did race again in 2023. And did the 3-day stage race. I didn't get in. I put in the lottery, didn't get into the full race, and I raced the stage race again with a good buddy of mine, and we trained a lot. We built mileage, and it's a different requirement than the full day race, because you really break it down, and you can train differently and race differently, because you're about three hours or so per day, 3.5 on the longer days. The middle stage, the Columbine climb is a shorter mileage day, but it's a significant effort. But it takes a little bit longer, or it takes a little bit less time than the others. So the my time for the 2023 3-day stage race was 9 hours and I think like 5 seconds. I busted a turn coming down the boulevard on the last left-hand turn before you roll up one of the boulevard, and spun out in gravel and probably knocked 30 seconds off of my time before getting up there, but still short of the 8.5 hours that I would have needed to get the big belt buckle. Last year, 2024, my buddy rode again, so I spent a lot of time training with him, and I decided to volunteer. So I got 21 hours of volunteer time last year at Leadville. I volunteered 2 days at the stage race, and I volunteered 1 day at the full day race. Obviously, it's 1 day. And I ended up being at Carter Summit, Aid Station, and near the one near the pipeline. For the full day. So it was actually if you're ever interested in getting into Leadville, volunteering is a big help to get preferential treatment. It doesn't guarantee that you get in, but it actually gives you, I think, a benefit to get in. The people that I met during the volunteering were fantastic. It was a ton of fun volunteering. The full day race, I was at the Columbine turnaround. So it was early start, and we rode a gator up to the top. We set up the whole area, the whole aid station area up there, and then waited for the pros to come through. So we got to see all the pros. They don't need any help while they're up there. They just roll around and head back down. Keegan Swenson won it again that year. Lachlan Morton, I think came in second on that one. So great race to watch. It was, like I said, it was a ton of fun, and the volunteers were just super energetic, and everybody just pitched in, worked real hard. I ended up getting 21 hours. So when I applied for the Leadville Lottery this year, back in December, I registered that I got the 21 hours, and they document all the training or all the volunteer time that you do. And then I got picked for the lottery again this year. So I was super excited and a little bit nervous. I've done it before, so mentally I know that I'm there, and physically I'm in good shape. I've been training through the winter, and now I'm really going to start cutting loose on the training, and that's probably going to be the next episode, is really kind of talk a little bit more detail about my training is what I really want to do. So that's how I got into 2025 Leadville. So, and because I turned 60, I'm going to be in a different age group. So I'm going to be a young kid in the 60 to 69-year-old age group. It gets really thin. The number of people in that age group drops significantly. So my competition in that age group is going to be quite a bit thinner. But it's Leadville is just a fantastic time. If you've never done it, I would encourage anybody to put it on their calendar and do it, but you have to commit to it. And it's a wonderful community, and like they say, you don't find Leadville, Leadville finds you. And once you kind of get the bug, it sticks with you, and it's a ton of fun. And if you can't do it, I would suggest, if you're thinking about it, this 3-day stage race, it's easy to get in. There's no barriers to getting in, other than it closed. It fills up usually around April or May. But if you register anytime before then, typically you'll get into the stage race. And it's a great way to start, get full exposure to the race course, get a full understanding of how it is to ride St. Kevin's in a pack of people. Some people are walking, some people are grinding it out. Really, you get an understanding of it all. And I benefit from living in Colorado, so I can go up there and train as soon as snow melts down. I'll be up in Leadville quite a bit, training and riding the course before the races this season. My goal is 9 hours, a sub 9 hour race this year. It's super aggressive. I'd have to knock off a lot of time. 8.5 hours for the 3-day race, 9 hours are really my goal for the full day race to get the big belt buckle this year. I'm really aspiring to get that. I think when I looked at the list of finishers that were 60 and over last year, I think there were a half a dozen maybe that beat 9 hours. So it's not a handful. It's not more than a handful of people. It's pretty small. And I'm going to close with this. I could not do this stuff without the support of my family, my wife, Tara, my daughter, Tori, my son, Tyler, all very supportive of, the time I spend on a bike, getting out there, just grinding away. I just came back from a ride. It was I spent an hour in the Peloton this morning at a zone 2, and then I went out and hit my local trails, the East-West Trail, and put in another 20 some miles, about 2 hours of additional riding this morning, since it's Saturday, and it's my long day to get out there and hit it. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. If you like what I'm saying, and if you're interested in hearing more, follow me, subscribe to my channel, and just remember it's a great race, and everything you put into it, you'll get out of it. So, but please, if there's any specific topics that you want to hear, just put them in the comments below. And just remember, keep pushing, keep climbing. It's all about the climbing. Leadville's trails are, the epic trails are just waiting for you. We'll see you on the next ride.